I just thought I'd do a quick review of the quiet core for the DG oval muffler on a DR 650. I've got a noise meter here in my hand so we can get some idea of what the noise was like before and after, because I've seen a couple of guys showing their pipes but haven't actually had a sort of a noise reader. This is an iPhone app. I don't know what the quality of it's like, but yeah, it'll give us some indication as to whether it's got quieter or not. So I'll just crack the bike on. Oops, wrong one. So if I stand here, roughly this spot, it's reading around about 90, peaking at 95 dB. And now I'll just get you to hold the camera with you, mate, and I'll just crack it on a bit. And you can see it's maxing out at around about 100 dB with the muffler as standard. So I'll just pull the muffler apart, put the quiet core in, and then we'll do another one. Yeah, so just quickly, that's the quiet core insert that goes inside the muffler. I'm yet to put that in. To get the muffler off, you've got 6 of these bolts. They're about a 5/32 size Allen key. You've got to pull them off, and then when they've been removed, you can get the end cap off the pipe. So I'll just do this in sections, so I'll just pause it again. Yeah, right, all the bolts are out now, and I'm just sliding the end cap out, and that's the way the muffler looks inside. And you can see, if you come around the side here, you'll see the packing in the muffler. The muffler's got about 800 Ks on it, and you'll see inside here, it looks like the spark arrestor. Now, whether that's actually going to fit inside the whole operation, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll continue the video in a minute. Yeah, so I've just had a trial run. It looks like it all goes together okay. So the insert drops into a seated area inside the end cap here. Now my presumption is that it goes in this way. It looks pretty straightforward. That goes in. The spark arrestor goes in on top. Hold it together and then just gently insert it inside the muffler. It'll be interesting to see if I can sort of tap this gently. A bit of a love tap into position. And yeah, that seems to almost marry up. Yeah, if I can get the bolts in there, that'll all be good. It seems to, so I'll just pull. Yeah, just quickly before I reassemble it, you can see around the outside of the end cap, they suggest putting a little bead of silicone around there before you reassemble it. So I'm just going to clean it off with a bit of scrungy washing pad here, which should get the silicone off, no worries. And then I'm going to use a small amount of this Loctite gasket maker, which is a sensor safe high temperature silicone. I think most silicone is fairly high temperature proof, and they don't actually specify any particular kind of silicone, but yeah, I'm just going to use that because I've got it, that's all. And you'll also just note, when I'm doing this work, I always like to throw a sheet or a blanket on the ground, even though I'm in the garage, because if I drop one of those nuts and it falls onto the blanket, it doesn't zoom off straight under a pile of some crap that I've got lying around somewhere in the garage. It just stops dead. It seems to just stop them dead in their tracks, and it also makes them easy to see. So in a minute I'll just put a small bead of silicone on this, and we'll reassemble it and give it a run and see if it makes any difference. Yeah, right, I've just put a bit of silicone around the outside there. You can see I've been pretty rough. Where I cleaned it off from, it didn't actually look like they'd been particularly careful of how they put it on. I'm just going to pop this fella back in here. I'll stick my finger in there, but I've got to be pretty careful because they've been pretty rough the way they've cut the end off this little pipe, and it's quite sharp. So I'm just going to whack him back in here, and hopefully he'll line up and not too much silicone will go everywhere. Just gently give him a bit of a prise in there. Yeah, right. So I've put the end cap back onto the canister, the canister, because of the size of the actual silent core itself, the disc of metal is probably a couple of mils thick. I had to use the persuader and a block of wood so I didn't damage the aluminium, and give it a light tap in around. I didn't have to smash it, just had to give it a light tap in around to get all the holes located for the bolts. Then what I did is I put each bolt in loosely until I located them all, and then went around, firmed them up, and then went around and tightened them up. There's one up the back here that's difficult to get to, and and the one on the side was also difficult to get to. It's probably, if you want to put this core in, probably better to do it before you put it on the bike if you're going to want it. So now we'll give it a start and we'll have a look at the decibels and see what sort of a sound difference it makes, and hopefully it makes a bit, because I don't want to pull it apart again. I'll commentate it. Okay, so you can see here the maximum decibels we're reading on the pipe are around about 94 or 93, actually that could be the old reading, 92, 93 decibels. Now I'll give it a bit of a rev and we'll see what we can get it up to. What did that get up to? 97. About 97 dB we got it up to. So we probably dropped it by 3 or 4 dB according to this iPhone app. How accurate that is.